this video, I'm going to be talking about meal timing, meal frequency, how many meals should you be having in the day if you want to build muscle, lose body fat, and perform at your best. Now, the reason I'm talking about this topic is because I just had a question come up. It's a popular question, it comes up all the time with our face-to-face and online coaching programs. And it was around this particular client. He's got a year with us. We're helping him online. And he wants to build muscle. He wants to lose body fat. He's got his wedding coming up in that year. And he wants to get on top of his training and nutrition. His question was around nutrition. He's going to be tracking macros. He'll use a app tracker like MyFitnessPal, Chronometer, but he's going to be tracking his macros. And it's a great question he asked, which was, how many meals should I be eating in a day? So you got to think about it. When you track macros, you're going to come up with your protein, fats, and carbs target. Now, if you are unsure on how to track your macros, I recommend getting in touch with our team. We have free resources down below this video that you can click and download. That may help, especially our user manual and ebooks to help you fine-tune your macros to help your body composition. But you can also get in touch with us as well to have a strategy for your own specific goals. But when you do your macros, you're going to come up with how many protein, fats, and carbs you want to eat for your particular goals and how many calories and fiber you want to have as well. But how many meals should you be eating and how much protein should be in each meal, of how many carbs or fats should be in each meal? How do you break that up actually? So I'm going to give you guys some strategies in this video that I like to use with our personal training clients, whether they are face-to-face or online, to help get rid of that question so you have clarity on how to set up your food for the day, whether it's tracking macros or with a food plan. Now, when it comes to thinking about food plans or your daily nutrition, there's a few things that I want that plan to aid. I want that plan to help. One of those things is going to be cravings. I want to come up with a plan, especially if you're on a fat loss phase, when you want to prioritize fat loss. I want to come up with a plan that decreases cravings. I don't want you walking around hungry all the time. That increases the chance for deviation off the plan. So to help that, I do recommend to eat food every 3 to 5 hours, in most cases. All right, so in most cases, I recommend to eat food every 3 to 5 hours as a broad guideline. And I recommend to have protein every 3 to 5 hours. So from when you wake up, having a meal, whether that's 1, 2, 3 hours after from when you wake up, to eating every meal after that every 3 to 5 hours. In most cases, I recommend to have 3 to 5 meals a day. The reason I recommend to have that kind of range is because when we're talking about macros and getting your calories in, it can be hard in one sitting to eat 100, 120 grams of protein in one go, digestively. Very hard to digest and very hard just to eat in one go. So eating every 3 to 5 hours is a great rule of thumb that I usually recommend with our clients, just to get enough frequency of the meals in to help digestion and aid cravings as well. Another thing to think about is blood sugar. I want to stabilize blood sugar with my clients. The reason for that, yes, health is a priority. I don't want your insulin spiking up and down. That's no good. That can lead to things like type 2 diabetes, blood sugar issues. We don't want to do that. We want to stabilize blood sugar. So eating every 3 to 5 hours may be a way, especially if it's great food, complex carbs, proteins, healthy fats, can be a great way to stabilize your blood sugar over time, all right? So I like having, frequency of meals within that range to also aid hormone health. So if we get the idea that, okay, every 3 to 5 hours we want to eat the meal, we want to stabilize our blood sugar as well. What should our macro breakdown look like? Very simply with protein, how many meals you eat in the day, you're going to have a total amount of protein that you want to consume in a day. For myself, it's minimum 200 grams. So I want to eat 200 grams of protein per day. Now, very simply with my meals in the day, I just divide that by each meal I eat. So if I was to eat 5 meals in a day, I would go 200 divided by 5. And whatever that number is, I want to eat that in per meal in the day to equal my protein target. When it comes to carbs, I like to have carbs mainly around training, intra-training, pre-training, and post-training, meaning that I like to eat carbs before I train a little bit. I like to have some carbs while I train, and I like to eat most of my carbs after training. The reason for that is to help your cortisol and insulin seesaw. When you train, you're going to release some cortisol. You're going to release some stress hormone. After you train, you're going to have a spike in insulin to repair. You've just trained. You've just damaged your muscles. We need that blood sugar. We need to restore glycogen around the muscles that you've just used or that you've just stressed. So I do like to have majority of my carbohydrates post-training just to help that uptake of insulin that will be sensitive. So that's a great way to use your carbohydrates. For fats, I predominantly keep them away from training most of the time. Reason for that, fats are harder to digest. So I don't want to have any digestive issues while I'm training. And I also want to have as much assimilation as best digestion as I can around training as well to get the nutrients in. Like I said, if I'm having the carbohydrates, for instance, to help facilitate performance and also recovery. So I try to keep fats minimal around training where I can. Okay, now yes, if you're doing things like keto diet, predominantly most of your foods are going to be fat, but you can't tell me if you go eat 3 avocados and you go train that you perform at your best digestively, okay? It just won't happen. So there's particular ways you can structure your food. So stabilize your blood sugar, think of your hormones to aid your health as well as your performance. Macro breakdown's important. Keep it simple. How many meals you eat in the day, whatever your protein target is, divide that per meal. Carbohydrates mainly around training. Fats, try to keep them around training where possible, okay, or minimum around the training window where possible. All right, and that's a simple way or a simple guideline that you can use to help your health, fitness and performance goals, whether it's body composition or you're trying to perform the best you can to any given sport. This was a great question once again from our client. I just wanted to share it with you guys because you might get some tips with this as well. Look, there are outliers to this as well. Some people prefer intermittent fasting. Some people prefer keto diet, all right? But I'm giving you a guideline here that you can follow in a framework, and I'll cover different guidelines for those different nutrition strategies in a later video. Now, if you found this interesting, please like, comment, subscribe to our channel. You can also check out our resources down below this video. We've got user manuals to help your body composition, your performance. We've got education to help you really level up your gym performance and your body and fitness. And if you ever need our coaching services, whether it's online, face-to-face, you can click down and check out those links as well and book in a discovery call. So thanks guys for tuning in. I will see you in the next one.